Good evening, people. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Reaching Out with Eddie. I tell you, it's been a really insightful weekend. It's been this week has really been testing and trying. Title of this show is Into the Looking Glass. Folks, you got to look at yourself. You got to look at yourself. You got to look into the looking glass. What you see is the harsh face of reality. If you're going to be in politics, you're going to have to be able to have a thick skin. You're going to have to either, since you're a public servant, you can't hide from the public. Anybody call you that lives inside of the city, if you're a county representative, anybody call you in that county, that you got to hear what they have to say. Now, let's talk about the recent nominees of Mayor Smith. I want to say this to Mayor Smith, is that I am very disappointed in you, but I'm not surprised. The reason why I'm not surprised now, I'm not angry at you at all, because you didn't lie to me. You didn't lie to anyone. You never told anybody what you was going to do. Well, let me just put it this way. You didn't tell any black people what you were going to do. And that's what's really sad about this, is that a lot of you out there now are upset. Some of you are upset for the wrong reasons. The ones that are upset are the ones such as the white folk. I got to say this to you white people. I got to say this to you white people, is that I am very, very proud of you guys. And I want to say this in all respect. The reason why I'm proud of you guys, because you're looking out for your kind. You're standing up for your kind. You're consolidating. Right or wrong, you're standing up for Chris Reed and transpose it. I like that. That's what we need to do. But then you see, it's something wrong when I went to that council meeting Monday, and folks, I got to tell you that I did record it. And I want to say this to all the council members without calling your name out, because what I don't want to do is, first of all, I want to say you guys did a good job. Everybody's proud of you. Those that are angry at you have an ulterior motive. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to call some names. One of the things that you said, Miss Lindsay, is that you wanted to get the most qualified people to be in this position. It's the reason why you voted yes for David Hodges. I don't have an argument with that. You, for the same reason, you voted no for Chris Reed and Trent Posey. Chris Reed does not have the educational experience. He has not been on the job as chief of police only 8 or 9 months, and during his tenure, maybe about 10 months. But during his tenure, you had murders of black folks. He has lied to you when you was on the Civil Service Board. Patrick Gale is the interim chief of police now. Again, not the most qualified person to be in that position. I have a problem with that. Yes, Patrick Gale is black, but I have a problem with that. I got a problem when the most qualified person is not placed in a position of authority, and that most qualified person is happen to be a black person. That really bothers me. It really bothers me when we elected black folks to look out for our best interests and follow the law, and they don't do that. Now, I'm fixing to talk about, I'm going to talk to you, Miss Walker. Miss Walker, I heard that you said that you made a mistake with your vote. Miss Walker, that is not true. Now, if I have to, when break come up, I'm going to play the video where you voted no for Chris Reed and Trent Posey. You didn't pause. You didn't hesitate. When they asked, was there any discussion? There was no discussion. So it's no accident about you voting no. I got to say this to the meeting. I got to say this. First of all, Richard, how you doing and how was your weekend?
Real good, real good.
I got to say this about Dwayne Davis. Dwayne Davis, you did an excellent job. Now, one of the things been said so well, Eddie Hope, you ain't always said that about him. He has came into himself. He's doing the people's will according to the law. And I got to say, I'm proud of that young. Not only will I support him if he runs for city council again, I'll donate to his campaign. And I'm just telling you the truth. Only reason why I ran against you is because I didn't see in you then what I see in you now. And I got to say, man, I'm proud that you're my representative for Ward 2. I got to say this for Joe Norwood Jr. I'm just going to say, good job, damn good job. You don't do a lot of talking, but when you say something it's profound and it's within the law, what you said to the guy that got up there and lied about being the assistant director, what you said to him was so true. Folks, what happened is that this white guy, now I'm going to tell you that I'm told that he's cousin to David Hodges. Another thing I'm told is David Hodges said that I'm a Christian. When they asked, let him speak, which was out of order. It was out of order. There's no way he should have been allowed to speak, folks, because they already had the workshop. It was to vote up or down. And he asked, could he speak? And George Thomas, the president, said, yeah. Folks, George Thomas ain't done nothing wrong. Ramonda Walker, Tybell Lindsay, Joe Norwood Jr., Dwayne Davis. He's showing you what you got to do. You got to look up for your kind. You got to support your kind. You got to elevate your kind. It's unnatural to do anything else. Now, if you can't do the job, damn it, resign. Now, I'm talking to all four of you. If you can't do the job, damn it, resign. Now, this stuff I'm hearing, I'm fixing to go. I don't care if anybody get mad. I don't care if people think that I'm saying things that I'm saying. Everybody knows this. Is that the same people that supporting, they got a petition on change.org on reinstating Chris Reed. Damn change.org. Stay out of Meridian, Mississippi business. It has nothing to do. Mississippi does not allow for recall votes on anything. If you want to have something go before the legislature, then shot that down now. So that means voters ID really is no longer the law. If medical marijuana cannot be a law based on a petition, neither is voters ID. The same thing they're doing with the Confederate flag. They might as well stop it. You can't say there's been grandfathered in. That's bull. Either it's legal or not legal. Either it's the law or not the law. Now, you guys trying to second guess and talking about what somebody said, you got to stand up for what's right. You got to look in the mirror. Man, I'm told that they just showed out at Freedom Rocks Church. That they got all over Miss Walker. Percy Bland go to Freedom Rock, folks. Percy Bland met with Jimmy Smith, and they made some kind of deal. Evidently, the deal is to keep all this folks. Folks, it's cronyism and nepotism and corruption stinks all the way to high sky. And Jimmy Smith, you coming in talking about we can do better. Damn it, what in this is you doing that is better? Now, to the person that unsubscribed because I said things about their family member. Now, look, if you care about what's right, then you cannot get mad at me for saying what's so obvious. Jimmy Smith is so damn arrogant, he walked into the city hall and waved and went straight to them white folks. Room full of black folks. Rick Hood up in there. The ministerial alliances up in there. He ain't said nothing to any of them. Didn't speak to anybody. Went straight to Will Simmons. Went straight to Ed Skipper and just like a selected group of white folk. When the meeting was over and things didn't go his way, of course he went, he pulled Dwayne Davis aside to triangulate him. It's something wrong with a person that was elected to do a job for the people and go and try to promote the best interests of not a certain group, but just a certain, not a certain race of people, but just a certain group of folk people. I ain't talking about 10 people. Jimmy Smith, you ain't won this election by no damn 10 votes. Some of the people that, Chris Reed, damn it, do not even live in this Lauderdale County. He's incompetent. He's corrupt. It's already been said if he don't get to be chief of police, they gonna quit. They ain't quitting because they want him. They quit, they running because they know their ass goddamn gonna have to have some accountability for the wrong shit that they've been doing. The illegal things that they've been doing. And there's something wrong with that. I'm going to say this to you. I'm going to say this to the new council member. George Thomas don't give a damn. But George Thomas, I admire you and kudos to you because you standing up for your kind and your folk. George Thomas voted yes for every single white person. He didn't care whether they was experienced or not. He voted yes for them. I hear you talking too well. So well, he voted for Dustin and he ain't white. Voted for Brandon. And I was proud of those 2 votes. Yes, I know I done talked about Brandon. I ain't like her, but she's qualified to be in that job. Sometimes people do things one way, and then when you give them another opportunity, they'll do the thing the right way. All sinners got a past, and all saints have a future. The other way around. All saints have a past, and all sinners have a future. It doesn't matter how it goes. Everybody got a past. All saints got a past, saints and sinners. And everybody got a future, and everybody can be forgiven for whatever they done. Now, I was very satisfied with those 2 nominees. I was not satisfied with David Lee Hodge. He lied. He said he was born and raised in Meridian. I'm told that he was raised in Tumsuma and went to Lamar. His dad was an engineer. So he wasn't raised up in Meridian, but he lied about that. He a member of this church, and that church can't wait to get home. Well, what you council members should have been asking him, you quit your job in March. If you are so qualified with all these degrees and all these badges of honor, why is it that you're unemployed right now? Why is it that you were willing? They ask him, folks, about the salary. And folks, I got all this on, and Ty, I got your nose and your yes, and I got your second. Ramonda Walker, I got your nose, I got your yeses. You did not stutter. I got everything Dwayne Davis said, Joe Norwood said, Jimmy Smith. I got everything. And unlike Loretta Allen, since I am with the media, I was up there with the folks, so you can hear plainly what's said. So, folks, I gotta tell y'all this. Now, when the meeting was over and things didn't go their way, Jimmy Smith didn't come out and shake people's hands. He went straight to Ed Skipper. He went straight to Will Simmons, and they over there scheming and planning their next move already. Now, ain't nothing worse than somebody being wishy-washy, Richard. Yeah. That means they tell you one thing and tell somebody else another thing, and then they get up there and do something totally different. Now, that's bad. But I'm going to say this, folks, is that I'm fixing to talk about the law now, Richard.
Well, that's the main thing.
I'm real good at researching.
Yeah.
Folks, I'm finna read the law to you, and I'm finna show it to you. This here is the Code of Ordinance of Meridian, Mississippi, Section 236, Paragraph H, or parenthesis H. And this here is the order of meetings. And of course, it tells about the president and all that thing, but I'm going all the way down to H, so y'all can go look. Will Simmons knows this. Robert's Rules of Order revised unless otherwise specified or unless changed by a specific provision of this division. The city council shall, which is mandatory, be governed in all matters of procedures by the compilation of rules or procedure known as Robert's Rules of Order revised. It says shall. Now let me go and tell you, this is the law now. You understand city ordinance is how they charge us for speeding, how they charge us for domestic violence, loud music, littering. That city ordinances is what does that, what gives the new judge, Dustin Markham, his authority to charge you and fine you and put you in jail under the codes and the statutes of the state of Mississippi. You understand what I'm telling you, folks? Now let's go and read this here. Now let's talk about reconsideration. Folks, once you motion, now I talked to an expert, well I did my research first, but I got validation from an expert. You know who my expert is? Western Lenderman.
Okay.
I called Western Lenderman. Westerman said once you put a motion to the table and you vote on it, that's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's either voted up or down or die for lack of a second. You can't come back days later and tell somebody to reconsider or issue. You imagine the chaos it'll create in this city if every time they pass a motion, 1,000 folks, black, white, yellow, green, get upset, or either folks start getting bombarded with phone calls. Rogers' Rules of Orders locks that in. Chris Reed, your ass is fired. Sit, you too, Trent Posey. Now, y'all need to get y'all ass on down and get the hell away from here. And all you people that are speaking up for him, damn it, give him a job where you stay at. Now, let me read this to you. This motion, a motion for reconsideration. That's the only thing you can do. Ask them to reconsider the motion you done vote down. This motion is peculiar in that the making of the motion has a higher rank than its consideration. Oh, I said a mouthfeel in. When you make this motion, it basically states the motion that's, like say, the motion to appoint Chris Reed. Once you file a motion for reconsideration after he was voted down, after the nays got it, it stayed there. It was no longer a nay. No longer nay, folks. That's what that means. This motion is peculiar in that the making of the motion has a higher rank than its consideration. You understand? When you make a motion for reconsideration, it outranked the motion to appoint him, and it stays that motion. You understand what it does? For a certain time. That ain't definite. For a certain time prevents anything being done as a result of the vote it is proposed to reconsider. Now let me say that to you again. For a certain time it prevents any, in other words, had anyone, and I'm going to break it on down, not anyone, had a certain person or individual had asked for a motion for reconsideration after they voted it down, it would have stayed here. That motion, in other words, he would have remained on the job at least for a few seconds until they re-voted. Now, it said, okay, again, I'm going to read it to you. This motion is peculiar in that the making of the motion has a higher rank than its consideration. For a certain time prevents anything being done as a result of the vote it is proposed to reconsider. In other words, reconsider not hiring Chris Reed. Reconsider not hiring Transposing. It would have stayed there while they reconsider it. However, it can only, you see that? It can only be made, it can be made only on the day. Can I need to say that again?
Yeah.
Okay. It can be made only on the day the vote to be reconsidered was taken. In other words, the vote for reconsideration could only have been made Tuesday or the next succeeding day, which was Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Damn it, it's a dead duck. Can't be done under the law. And so here what I want to say to you. Look, I'm talking in a manner, you understand what I'm saying? Two Bell told me to talk in a manner so as to not single out any single individual. So I'm talking to you, Joy. Oh, okay, let me tell you this too. Jimmy can't send a motion for you guys to reconsider. That's against Rogers' Rules of Order. Now, I'm gonna read it to you. George Thomas can't do it either because he voted to affirm. It must, must again, that's another one of the mandatory words. It must be made by one who voted with the prevailing vote. And the prevailing vote was 4 against 1, and it can only be, the motion can only be put forth by you, Tybell Lindsay, by you, Ramonda Walker, by you, Dwayne Davis, and by you, Joe Norwood Jr. Only you can put that vote forward. But you can only do so Tuesday or the next day. But once the meeting is adjourned, that's a done deal. See it? Now, it said if the motion to be reconsidered is lost, it cannot be repeated except by general consent. No question can be twice reconsidered unless it was required by a majority of the votes. But this can only be done on that day, meaning they could have asked for a motion for reconsideration, and it was voted down again, and they had one other chance they could if a majority of the people voted for it to be. See, here's what I'm telling you, Two-Bell. One person can ask for a motion to reconsideration, and if it's shot down a second time, then it would take a majority of the voters. See, that's why the people hate me. See, that's why the people in power hate me, because I'm able to read this stuff. They call it a gift of interpretation, a gift of understanding. That's the genius in me, that I can read this stuff and I can understand it and break it down to you. Will Simmons knew this when they was over there. See, I was listening to Bell. No, I wasn't. When they was over there, I'm just assuming, when they was over there plotting and scheming, this is they plotting scheme. They knew that you guys was green. George Thomas knew it, but his ass ain't gonna tell you. Once you guys accepted that into the minutes and voted that man in, guess what you would have had? You would have created a quagmire, because you would have broken the law. Y'all better be careful what you're doing. Jimmy Smith calling you up. Every time he call you up, he's breaking the law when he's trying to get you to do something to circumvent the will of the people. They call that collusion. This stuff is against the law. You better start Googling how many people went to jail and how many people that are in jail. Long just died, but he spent 10 years in prison and didn't live but a few years after he got out. It ain't never too late to go to jail. I want to say this to Tybell Lenz, and I want to say this to Ramanda Walker. I want to say this to Dwayne Davis, and I want to say this to Joe Norwood Jr. You folks are young folk. You're young compared to George Thomas and Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith is 70, George Thomas 85. You guys in your 40s. And Miss Walker, if you ain't in your 40s, you sure look like you in your 30s. No, I just had to say that. You're young compared to me. And if you was to go to jail right now, you would lose a lot. And you can go to jail when you get with people that have an ill motive. They have an ill motive. Now, I got to tell you this, folks. This is really disturbing to me. I have went before the city council to speak about the racism of Scott Silent. Jimmy Smith wouldn't know that because he was at home sitting on his couch doing whatever he do. So, but the thing of it is that you talking about, I'd watch that man tell a lie. I watch him lie about the most qualified people. And here he is trying to give us Chris Reed and Rita Jacks, his next door neighbor. What kind of rascal would have a next door neighbor that would have her qualified like that and then won't even give her an opportunity to do a job that she's been training to do all her life? Oh, I done got the messages. Me and Lolo keeping this going. That's a damn lie. The citizens of Meridian are very upset at you, Jimmy Smith, what you doing. I done heard that you were arrogant to some of the people that donated money to your campaign. The black folk, but not them white folk. Folks, now we got the beast wounded. The beast wasn't Percy Bland. I told you that. The beast is the power structure. Now that we are in a position where we are taking control, the government authority is showing substance and showing moral turpitude and showing integrity. Don't be swayed into doing the law and doing something to corrupt, because we ain't going to be kind to you right here reaching out at it. Now, y'all done made a vote, damn it, stick to it. Now, this is the law right here. This is the law. Will Simmons know the law. I told y'all were messing up, putting George Thomas in there as the city council. Dice man, he tried to get every last one of them. Talking about we got the money. The money's not there for that, George Thomas. We got roads that need to be fixed. The budget is already set. That man needed a job so much, Richard, he said, what are y'all willing to give me? This is David Hodges, who was being affirmed. He wanted to speak. He didn't say nothing about his credentials. He didn't say nothing about his education. He said, I'm a member of this church. I grew up in Meridian, Mississippi. I would have told him, shut the hell up. Joe Norwood Jr. had enough. We here to vote. We ain't here to talk. And then the other guy, can I speak? His cousin go up there and said, well, we ain't qualified for the last 15 years. I would have said, hold it right there. Write your name and your job and your duties down on the paper. What we going to do is we going to find out who your boss is, and we going to see about you being fired. Because there's something wrong with if you for 15 years you knowing something wrong and you ain't told Hugh Smith about it. No, I didn't like Hugh Smith, but what he did to me too, Bill. But I don't like what they doing to Hugh Smith. And this ain't right. And damn it, y'all pack that city council. I don't care what you're doing. If you have to stand outside, be there Tuesday. Look Jimmy Smith in his eyes and ask him what the hell kind of Negro is you? What kind of low-down shit you pulling on the black community? Shit, I'm pissed off right now, Dice Man. Take us to the break. Folks, I'm back, and I still haven't calmed down yet. And folks, I know you want me to open the phone lines up, and I open them up, but not yet. I gotta finish, and I gotta let my co-host speak. Folks, I want to say this: you got two sets of rules in the city of Meridian. You have what the city council, what Jimmy Smith want to replace Hugh Smith with somebody with college education, and then you have with who's black. A white person over a black person. So you got to see this, and then you have what Jimmy Smith done made Patrick Gale, who lied to the Civil Service Board as recent as not too long ago, along with Chief Reed. But he's placing him in a position over more qualified, educated. So you have what you call racial discrimination one way, and then you have what you call sexism another way. You have double racism and sexism and employment discrimination against Rita Jackson, all these things, and we have a standing lawsuit in the city of Meridian. This nigga don't give a damn about any of that. He just care about pleasing his white friends. Damn, Sherry Berry, we sent her ass home long time ago. She ain't brought her ass back down there either, because we call out right here. And you got Jimmy Smith. Now, Stephen Red is Dr. Red. I told y'all this. Damn it, I'm upset. This man here has a degree in community development, street engineering, and creating fake clouds and whatever else come in my head. Too bad, you know, I gotta say something to kind of lighten up the mood a little bit. But here's Scott Solid, who's a 45-year-old redneck that retired from damn Bell South and ain't never been in community development. Don't even know anything about code enforcement. Jimmy Smith done made this damn redneck GOP the interim community service director over Stephen Red, who has a PhD and is the assistant director right now. On any other planet, in any other city, in any other state, the assistant step up when the director's gone. So you got somebody, so these Negroes got to train this uneducated, unqualified, white Republican GOP. Told you, Negroes. I told y'all. I told you to sell your damn vote. I'm mad as hell is what he's doing. I'm not mad because he's there. I'm mad at what he's doing. But I told y'all it was going to happen. So you got a set of rules that's taking place right now where you got city council people want to go back and revisit something illegal. Oh, I'm going to do all I can. I'm going to the Ethics Commission. I'm going to the damn Attorney General. I'm going to the Justice Department. I'm going to damn Meridian City Court and try to put y'all, the whole damn city council and the mayor ass in jail for violating the damn city ordinance right here. Under the statute, they call that dereliction of duty. Under the state statute, I'm going to find it. Shit, I ain't going away quiet into the night. This shit ain't happening. You damn right I don't like Chris Reed ass or none of his corrupt ass folk. Let him go. And all you crackers that signing the damn petition. I ain't saying it. Miss Marie slapped me in the mouth then. I almost said it. Richard must have laid his hand, Reverend Lawson had to lay his hand on me too, because I almost said it then. I ain't said it. The hell with all that. That's what I'm going to say. It's wrong. And I'm not going to let it happen just like I did this research. Man, you guys that had the opportunity. Look, if the shoe fit, wear it. Ain't that what they used to tell us? Yeah. I ain't talking to all you city council people. You know who I'm talking to. I ain't call your name out, so you ain't got no business to be embarrassed about that. This shit ain't going to be nice. Oh, I'm going to be there filming again so I can have evidence to give to the FBI if I have to, evidence to give to the Attorney General if I have to, evidence to give to the State Ethics Commission because it's illegal. It's got to be something wrong. You Christian folks out there going to your bougie. Man, I told one bougie female, I said, it's Negroes like you that's got this city all effed up with all these bougie ways and knowing what's right. Look at this city. We have an opportunity now because we have a strong government. And Jimmy Smith gonna call you guys up and everybody else gonna call you up who you're listening. It's wrong and it's against the law. What that tells me is that you don't know your job. My advice to you was to learn your job. Didn't I say that? Yeah. Learn your job. Learn your city ordinance. Learn Robert's rules. It's in there. It's in there about voting and about procedures and what you can and cannot do. This stuff is the law. This ain't no damn game. This ain't no church where you can go and take something and revisit it. Once you vote on it and it's down, it's dead in the water. That's it. It's over with for Chris Reed. And to make Patrick Gale the interim police is an insult to everybody. And then let me tell y'all this. Scott Solid has only been working with community development as a code enforcement officer. He retired at Bell South. Too bad I ain't telling you what I read. I'm telling you what he told me out of his own mouth. He ain't even been working there 3 years yet. Stephen Red been there 6 years as the assistant director. What the hell wrong with that, Jimmy Smith? Man, man, what's wrong with that? And I got to say this to you. If Jimmy Smith go to jail, Jimmy Smith is 70 years old. It's not going to affect his children or his grandchildren. It ain't going to affect his wife. It's just him go to jail. But if you go to jail, if any of you go to jail, it's going to affect you and your livelihood and your children and what it is that you're doing in life. And you're not following the will of the people. Damn all them people calling you up. You done voted. Now you need to continue to vote like that and make sure we get qualified people, black or white, to be in these positions at an affordable income. That's your duty. And it's under the law. Don't let them, y'all better table that. And I gotta say this. You ain't got to second every damn thing that come up. It can die for lack of a second. So if anybody bring it up and you know it ain't right, do not open your mouth. Because not only is Eddie Holt and reaching out with Eddie and the Dice Man and the Two Belt watching, God is watching too. Just telling you the truth. And for those of you that don't believe in God, karma is a bitch. I apologize for that. Karma is a Pereira. That's Spanish for the same thing. Open up the phone line, Dice. And Richard, I'd like for you to say something while Dice open up the phone lines. I just didn't want you guys to interrupt me. So we're going to open up the phone line. Dice, flash the number up there for them to see it.
You see all this hard work, hard study to try to get the information to you as someone who care about you and your family and your future. When you don't have people that care about you, they'll put anything before you and want you to vote on it and accept it.
That's right.
People that study rules, regulations, and laws, they concern about you as an individual person. What can happen to you and your family? What can happen to you as a person doing something that's not right, voting on things you don't know about? Like you said, you got to study, you got to learn. Take an interest in your community and your people.
And I got to say this, Jimmy Smith don't give a damn about the city of Meridian. He don't give a damn about the citizens of the city of Meridian. He don't give a damn about a black family or a black mother or a black father or a next door neighbor. He don't give a damn about any of that. He lied to all of you. While all the time he knew what he was going to do because he was meeting at the Berry law firm across from the courthouse and talking to Sherry Berry and her husband and planning and all that. When Ed Skipper was not confirmed, he stayed there, but his wife stood up like she was shot in the back and ran up out of there in a huff. Mad. Well, I got to say this, I don't mean in disrespect. You shouldn't have had your ass there in the first place. You ain't been there in years. Stay away now. Damn it, y'all, give us, this is our city. Get the hell up out of it. Leave us the hell alone. Dice, read some of those comments.
Okay. All right, we got, let's see here. All right, we got Johnny Magruder says, hello.
Hey.
Hope all is well. Have you all heard of the hanging equipment?
Well, it's been a lot of not equipment. No, we hadn't heard of that. Yeah.
Okay.
And hello.
Jim Meyer says, hello, tuned in and sharing your broadcast.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah. And hello.
Fred Welch says, good evening, good people.
What up, Fred?
What's up, Fred? John Magruder also says, hope you all are staying safe. A good friend of mine was killed over loud music. We have to stop killing each other. We should be proud of our brothers and respect them and treat them with dignity.
Amen.
Real talk.
All right. Ellen Franklin says, good evening, peeps.
Hey, Marie.
So, Ms. Franklin. Stacy Dixon says, good evening, everyone.
Hi.
Hey, Stacey.
Ellen Franklin says, Chris Reed lives in Lauderdale County, but he does not live in the city of Meridian. That's why he don't care about the inner city.
Mm.
Jim Myrick says, EMBDC money is back. Is backing Jimmy Smith.
And not only that, here's what I suspect. I can suspect, I have an opinion. I suspect that all this is about, Weston Linderman, when he was here, he told us about government bonding, how Jimmy Smith was a lobby for government bonding. And Jimmy Smith, as mayor, gets to dictate how roads are repaired. And I assure you, a bond issue is going to come up pretty soon where Jimmy Smith is going to be trying to get 30, 40, 50, or $80 million. And it'll be government bonding that'll go and secure that bonding. And it'll be Rick Barry, the law firm that he's with. That law firm is the law firms that will work with Will Simmons. And government bonding will secure that $80 million. And Rick Barry firm, that's what we're going to call it, will get $8 million out of that. And can we say kickback? Can we say corruption? All this at the end of the day is about money. And when people love money more than anything, they don't give a damn about anything else. And they get blinded. Money will blind you and make you do illegal things. And then you get people that are unaware. I can tell you that I was so proud of the city council, but to hear them go back and second guess, it's like man, if you can't handle this, give it up. Mm-hmm. No, don't keep it if you can't handle it, because it's not fair to us. You were elected by the people. You ain't got no business taking phone calls from the mayor in the middle of the night or any time with him telling you something, and you go at LeBaron. All the people's at that church, we know about LeBaron Hedgeman and his illicit affairs and all that stuff and everything. What do God have to do? You can't. God tell you that in the Bible that you can't serve two masters. You can't serve him and Mammon. You can't do both. So all these churches, and I got to say this, is that Reverend Clark and Reverend Bohannon and Reverend Moore was there. They were there. They was there in support, not of Chris Reed, but in support of this city doing the right thing. The city council people, you guys did an excellent job. I didn't want to have this other part talking all these things, but I got to point out to you what your duties are under the law. And if you don't do your duties under the law, you owe your duty to yourself. And you Christian out there, you owe it to God. You don't owe it to Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith don't give a damn about you. If he could be arrogant and indifferent toward folks that donated their time to his campaign and thousands of dollars, what the hell you think he care about you? You ain't got no business telling that man pulling you to the side to talk to you. That shit didn't look good at all. But y'all did a good job. Man, I'm telling you, Dwayne Davis, woo! Joe Norwood Jr., he been a politician all his life. Yeah. These guys are good. They're not just your average politician. These are guys that love their community and doing what's right, doing what the people want. Yeah. They knew that Chris Reed wasn't qualified. Ty Bell told me Chris Reed wasn't qualified. And Ms. Walker, you did not make a mistake in voting. You voted a clear yes, and when it was opened up for questions, so it ain't nothing in the law that says that you did that. It's a done deal. Chris Reed, take your ass away from him. You said you had a lot of options. Could you exercise some of them? And all them damn police officers don't leave when you leave. Why don't y'all just go ahead on and leave? We're gonna take this phone call. Calling you on the podcast with Richard and Eddie.
What up, Mr. Hope?
What up, Low? What up, Low?
Check this out. Tuesday at the city council meeting, when Mike Van Dam, that worked for Public Works Department, stood up and asked George Thomas could he come up and vouch for this David Hodges person.
Mm-hmm.
George Thomas wasn't even supposed to let him go up there. But let me tell you, a little birdie told me it was staged. It was planned. It was actually supposed to be another public work worker that was there to go up there, Jeff Warren, but Michael Van Dam beat him to the draw. when he stood up there and George said, tell these folks who you are. Like, he don't know the council member name. Tell these folks who you are and what you do. He said, I'm Mike Van Dam. I'm he said he's the director of operations for the
he said he
lied.
Yeah, he's
if those city
assistant.
councilmen that came in from the bottom floor by the old police department through that doorway, they could have looked right there by the civil service door, and they would have seen that job that he claimed that he had was posted and it ended yesterday at 12 o'clock. He lied about that. It wasn't 15 years, he said, that they've been doing the wrong thing for public work. It was 18 years. And then when Dwayne Davis asked, well, why haven't you told anybody? Why haven't you brought this to our attention? He said Percy Bland wouldn't allow them to speak at the council meeting, wouldn't allow them to speak to the council. That was a lie. Quincy Odom came before the council in 2018 and made Hugh Smith and Percy Bland stand up next to him when public work was fighting for a damn raise. Now, let me tell you this. I hope that the council, I know the council don't listen to this, I hope that neither one of them going to stick their foot in their mouth. But put it like this, I know Joe Norwood not going to do it. I know Dwayne Davis not going to do it.
That's
but, you know,
right.
sometimes females can fall a little weak and be a little scared. But you got to have thick skin to be in the political arena. I hope like hell they don't call themselves going to go back and try to reconsider the vote. It's set in stone. Like I told you earlier, Mr. Holt, if I went to the poll on June the 8th and accidentally voted for Jimmy Smith, slid my ballot through that machine, and then I'm looking at Jimmy Smith's name instead of Weston Lindeman's name, I can't tell the poll worker, I voted for the wrong person. I was intending to vote for Weston Lindeman. Once I cast my ballot, that's it. Once they cast their vote this past Tuesday, that's it. Now, you got them Klansmen saying that you and I keeping this thing going. It's they racist ass the one that keeping this shit going. What it is, they mad because we speaking up for the people. That's all it is, Mr. Holt. They mad. They're the type of people that think they can stir up shit and say shit and we can't respond. You motherfucking right. They come for me, I'm coming back for their asses.
That's
if
right.
they say something, and I'm knowing it's lies, I'm going to come back and hit them with the facts. And that's what they cannot stand. That's what they cannot stand. Now, you got this old irrelevant-ass petition floating around social media talking about reinstate or reconsider Chris Reed's job. Chris Reed is from Newton County. His ass is not from here. And he stay out there in the Clarkdale area. Hell, he's a dog handler. He can go get a damn job at Petco. He can go to the City of Meridian Animal Shelter and get a job. He don't need to be his corrupted lying ass inside that police department. Neither do Patrick Gale for his lying ass. Now,
That's
Mr.
right.
Holt, Mr. Holt, I'm going to tell you something. Back the other week, when Chris Reed made the post about Edwin Law being promoted to sergeant, he ain't never made a post showing all them white folks he promoted to lieutenant and promoted to sergeant. He want the black folk to see, look what I given y'all. Look what I given y'all. Now, here's the thing. When I saw that picture that day, it was something to me. Because I don't go on Chris Reed's page. I don't like the lying motherfucker. It was something to me. I immediately called Jimmy Smith and told Jimmy Smith what was going on inside that department. Now, this man, Jimmy Smith, told me repeatedly on the phone during our 20-plus minute conversation, Rita Jack was wronged. He repeated it.
And
He
Lo,
was
he said,
wronged.
and Lo, he
This
said,
lady is your next door neighbor. If you actually felt that way, Jimmy Smith, why are you treating her the way you treating her?
That's
She's your
right.
next door neighbor. It doesn't matter if she had a Western Lindemann sign in her yard. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna tell you one thing, Grace. Now you might get offended when I say this. Motherfucker can't stand strong ass females.
That's
They
right.
intimidated by smart, intelligent females.
That's right.
I have niggas on Facebook that intimidated by me because I'm very outspoken. I say what the fuck they thinking, but they're afraid to say it because they're oppressor. I don't like House Negro. I don't like House Negro. But Mr. Smith repeated it to me on the phone the day that Chris Reed made the post a picture up on Facebook that Edwin Law was promoted to sergeant. I called Mr. Smith that day, and he repeated to me on the phone that Rita Jack was wronged. Okay, if she was wronged,
Make it right.
Rita Jack is not the acting police chief.
That's right.
She's way more qualified acting Patrick Gale, oh, slow, speaking impaired, dumb, blind ass? Why
That's
come
right.
she not the acting post? And then speaking of Scott Silent over there, community development, how in the hell Jimmy Smith gonna make him the acting community development department head when this dude is out of country? He overseas, been gone for over a damn week.
And not only that, Lo.
How you gonna do some shit like that?
And
How you acting and your ass not even here?
That's right. Thanks, Lo, for calling in.
All right.
And I want to say this, Richard. I love a strong black female.
Yeah.
I love it. I ain't never tried to break. I say it on this show all the time that we need money to fix this. I love a strong black female. Not all of them are strong. Some of them are too submissive. But I love a strong, assertive black female like Lolo and Rita Jacks, Abby Robinson up there. It's a lot of them. I go Kathy Barfrey, Marie Franklin. I can go on and on. You know, strong black females is the backbone of this community. It's just the way it is. And so yes, but I'm under the impression that Chris Reed can't promote anyone without those people being vetted by the Civil Service Board. So all those promotions are illegal. So you can kind of see, and that's what I wanted to point out too, is that you got on one way you got an unqualified white person placing him, Scott Solid, over a PhD, Dr. Red, a black person. It's something wrong with that. I'm talking about there's something wrong bad. Jimmy Smith, you sending mixed messages. If a child was watching there, they'll be saying they'll stand in the corner and won't move. They'll be afraid to move because of the abuse and what you're saying. Let me tell you something, Jimmy Smith. Damn it. You might think you have a gavel in your hand and a crown on your head, but you're neither king nor a judge. This is a democracy. You were chosen by the people. Dice, let's answer that phone. You on the podcast, caller?
Hello, Mr. Holt.
Hello.
Hey, this is Tristan.
Oh, hey, Tristan.
How are you? Hey, Dice.
Hey, what's up, love?
Not much. I think this is my first time calling in.
It sure is.
I just wanted to just give my little 2 old cents. I want to talk about how, first of all, I didn't know Chris Reed had that many supporters. And it's a group on Facebook called Queen City Social. And when the council had, made their decision to not reinstate him, it was so many people on there that was saying how it was wrong. You had people on there talking about the city council was racist. And my friend Emery Howell, she made a comment under there talking about the wrongs that Chris Reed has done, and these people were attacking her. And she was conversing with them, giving her reasons for how she felt. Emery ended up being blocked. And you had one particular person on there that made a statement that was just flat out racist, and that woman was able to stay on there.
Right.
And you had people talking about putting petitions together, how they're going to go to City Hall and they're going to protest all over Chris Reed. And then they had the nerve to say that the city council was racist because they wouldn't vote him in.
Well, you know what I think about all that is that maybe perhaps then we should do what they're doing. They're showing us how they stand up for their own kind. It doesn't matter about the qualification. But see, and I'm going to wait till you get off because I don't want to do anything to make you lose your job because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But it has nothing to do with education. But I can say this. I think I can say this in all safety. Is that just about everything they ever got in this country and in this world is about lying, cheating, and stealing. Not because they were qualified or they could sit and make deals, but it was more qualified people that was always been able to do something that they could not do. And they used their power of the gun in order to get what they want and keep what they want. They have always done that, and they're demonstrating that now.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we don't do that because
so many people, and all the people, they talked about how great he was, but out of all them thousands of comments, could nobody list not one accomplishment that he's made other than saying they feel safe coming to Meridian, and if he's not reinstated, they don't feel safe. But every time crime happens in Meridian, these are the same people who get on WTOK Facebook page and make all these posts about Meridian dangerous, it's going downhill. Do you feel safe here or don't you? Because you can't say you feel safe when the circumstances
That's right.
are in your favor, but now that he's not being reinstated, now it's dangerous.
That's right.
Which one is it?
That's right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and maybe if folks can't handle the job, they should resign. And this is another strong black female. And I didn't mention your name, but you are. And what's your manager name?
My manager?
No, the Hampton. What her name? This is Tristan, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Tristan.
Yeah. And what was the person that ran?
Who that? Kristen Cochran?
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, she's a strong black female.
Yeah.
She is,
Yeah,
and I mean, I commend Ty Bell. I finally met her, and you know, she seems like she is about doing the right thing. But I feel like Kristen was still another person that would have really rocked that position, and I have no doubt she would not have wavered on not Nan's decision.
Well, thank you for calling in, Tristan, with those pretty eyes.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day. Yeah, and she's right. It shows how white people stick together, and it shows how we cannot. If they can get, why is it that we ain't saying something about Dr. Red? Why nothing been said about that? If your city council people got to do right, and you say you don't see color, something going on where you can talk about confirming somebody that's not qualified, and Chris Reed is not qualified to be in that position. When you have a more qualified person, if we want qualified people, let's get them. Let's take this caller. Okay, caller, you on the podcast.
Mr. Hope, I had to call back in. Miss Tristan Hampton just reminded me of something.
Okay.
When she brought up Queen City social page, that's basically a Republican group. The creator is Dr. Virginia Nelson. The person who was constantly making racist posts inside the group, she make racist posts on her own page as well. Her name is Kathy Price. Who is the people that said that now Chris Reed not in office, they no longer feel safe? These people don't even live in Meridian any damn way. For as Chris Reed got 1,000 or how many hundreds of supporters, of course, what you said earlier, white folks sticking with white folks, wrong or right. They don't even, half of them motherfuckers don't even know Chris Reed.
That's
now,
right.
Here's the thing, Gray. Shooting went on in Highland Park. The same people that say they no longer feel safe were talking about how dangerous Meridian is. Meridian's a dangerous city. Meridian's not a safe city. The exact same people that say they won't be caught in Meridian after 6 p.m. All this type of shit. Soon Chris Reed get voted out of office, it's no longer safe in Meridian. Well, to you, I almost called today. I almost said the goddamn C word. Them motherfuckers pissed me off.
Well, you done said
them
that.
Motherfucking skinhead, them skinhead motherfuckers pissed me off. Let me tell you something, Mr. Holt. You got a substantial amount of people done left MPD because of Chris Reed. Don't you know MPD is down under 50% of officers?
That's right.
Thanks to Chris Reed, there people that went to jail that was innocent. Let me give you 2 examples. Your grandson, Eli Stringfellow, was one of them.
That's right.
Had to pay a bondsman, had to pay a goddamn lawyer, and then the case was dropped. Meanwhile, Eli go out there trying to list in the military, so bogus-ass felony charge that MPD up under Chris Reed leadership is still going to be on his record. He got to retain a lawyer to get that taken off his record.
Oh, call his granddaddy.
When the shooting went on in Highland Park, Chris Reed giving Signet Child Covington over the Community Watch Group on Facebook a picture of Justin Ruffin picture. Marine Police Department labeled him as one of the suspects. 2 days later, they turn around and say he's no longer a suspect. But you don't put this young man picture all over social media. Just last Monday, there was shooting right there in the Northwood area, 10th Avenue, 8 o'clock in the morning. You didn't hear none of that shit on WTOK. Yesterday, around 6 o'clock, in between 6 and 7, police were looking for someone for robbing someone on 17th Avenue in between 22nd and 23rd Street. That's a good many crimes that goes on right here in the M-Town that never be reported to him. Just take, for instance, yesterday on the news, they talked about someone doing a porn video at a bandit church on Sunday. Why come they just spoke about that yesterday?
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you this, too. I don't believe that shit taking place at the abandoned school or church. I think it was the school. I believe it taking place at Super 8 Motel Sunday because that what came across the radio, a robbery in place at Super 8 Motel. And I believe it just ended up near Oak Grove Baptist Church at that old school, abandoned school. Now, who in the hell go in an abandoned brick-ass building and do a porn video?
And no
They just go
electricity.
to show you the incompetency down there at MPD. And then I had somebody that worked for the city of Meridian tell me about Scott Silent harasses black folks.
That's all
when
he
they
do.
out here working on houses.
That's all he
put
do.
the community development, the code enforcement officer to go and see do they have a building permit, but don't say shit to the white folks.
That's all he do.
Come on now.
That's
and
right.
you want to get the best qualified people. Why come Jimmy Smith don't have Mr. Red sitting in that community
And I just got to ask you,
department head job at the acting role?
That's right. And that's how I
To tell you
should
the
go.
truth, he should have been the department head
That's right.
to begin with. He has a doctor's degree. Laura Carmichael don't have no doctor's degree. She don't.
That's right.
But that's the end of my ranting, Mr. Hope. I'm gonna let you go.
Thank you, Lo, for calling in, and she
All right.
is right. But see, that's what's going on. It's always been like that. You have these qualified blacks that are not getting. Jimmy Smith, what the hell? You can't find not one black Republican. But anyway, Dice, read the comments.
Okay. All right, got Ellen Franklin says, Jimmy Smith has shown us that he cares nothing about us, and what he's doing now is what he intended to do all along.
That's right.
And that is go against the majority of citizens in this city.
For a selected group, a small group of rich white Republicans. Any Dice?
Okay. Doris Payne says, good evening. Kim Houston is running for state senate. She posted on Facebook the position of the Senate that resigned, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kim Barney Houston. So I'm told that her husband, her ex-husband, is also running, Gary Houston. I'm told that Keith Jackson, that's Samson Jackson's son, is running. James Creel contacted me and asked for support. He's also running, and we'll just see how big the field is going to get and who it is that we going to support here at Reaching Out with Eddie. Right now, we hadn't endorsed anyone. Dice.
Okay.
And hey, sis, Doris Payne is my sister.
Okay. Lathina Grace says, good evening.
Hello, Miss Grace.
Just Fallows says, when a Democratic candidate holds secret meetings with Republicans while running for office, then you know their intentions aren't great. Mm-hmm. The voters need to elect people who care about the city.
And I got to say this is that this is the Democratic Party's fault, because I brought charges against Percy Bland. I brought charges against Kim Barney Houston. I brought it against Tyrone Johnson, Fannie Mae Johnson. I brought charges against all of them. And the Democratic Party did not show any teeth. And so I can say this, that right now things have gotten worse. And they have, and what they're doing is that we have a governing authority, Richard, mm-hmm. that are standing up to the status quo, to the big money folks, and they're doing everything they can to circumvent. And our black females just gotta stay strong and do what's right. And if you do what's right, and then remember, according to the law, according to Robert Rules of Order, you cannot do that. Now listen to me. Simmons is not going to tell you the truth. He has already lied to you and deceived you. You better read that stuff and understand it for yourself and get outside counsel. And I ain't talking about no white person, because as you see, white folks stick together. You better talk to somebody, and I can assure you that Percy Bland is being investigated by the feds. If Percy Bland is being investigated by the Fed and so in his administration, and why is it that Chris Reed and all these white folks is fighting so hard for him to keep this job? Jimmy Smith will end up absorbing some of this. We'll take this phone call. Caller, you on the podcast? Well, they hung up.
Okay. All right. Let me get back over here. Okay. Jim Myers says, I believe violations of Open Meetings Acts are going on.
I think so too. It's got to be, if you're calling up It's got to be something wrong if you got to take a phone call from the mayor and discuss something that you shouldn't be discussing, especially if it's talking about you and dealing with a vote that you've already made according to Roger's Rule of Order. You understand that if Percy's being investigated by the feds and Jimmy Smith met with Percy, and then, of course, Percy go to Freedom Rock, Jimmy Smith go to Freedom Rock Church, and now Jimmy Smith is the mayor, so it seems some kind of collusion going on. And I can give an educated opinion, but then Jimmy Smith is showing his hand. That's the very reason why we did not support him more than 16 years ago. He had become arrogant. He would not listen to us, and he was not doing anything for the best interest of his constituencies. He was just doing whatever he wanted to do according to whomever. And then whenever they had a meeting at the social club, I don't know who owned it, but they got a place. Jimmy Smith know where it is. He probably been there lately. It's a place, I've said it on this podcast before, where it's off in the woods before Laura, sitting on a lot. It's like a hunting club, and that's where the GOP go and they meet with prominent office holders, and they plan and scheme, and the whole thing is designed to make them money and to continue to enrich them, and in doing so they pay them. We call it taking the brown bag. We just got to call it for what it is. Something's going on. If he's not doing the will of the people and talking about qualified people, and then on the same day he talking about putting the most qualified people that he selected, then he got to be ignorant, unaware his ass is corrupt. Because Rita Jackson is the most qualified police person. You ain't going to find a more qualified person anywhere other than her. Stephen Redd is the most qualified person right there. Okay, we'll give you David Hodges. He's white. He's qualified. He's college educated, I guess. But damn it, so is Rita Jackson. So is Stephen Redd. But, they're black. Hell no, I got a damn problem with that. Dice Man.
Okay. Chandra Lynch says, hello, everyone.
Hi.
What's up, little niece?
David Douglas says, enjoying the podcast.
Well, thank you, Mr. Douglas.
Davis Douglas also says, we need one here where I live.
Where do you live, David? Did he say?
He did.
He gonna come back and say what you said.
Okay. Jess Fallow says, you're a brilliant man, Mr. Holt.
I just love my community. I'm a strong black man. We're gonna answer this phone, Dice. Caller, you on the podcast?
Good evening, y'all.
Good evening.
Hey, Marie.
Hey, I want to say that your previous caller was exactly right. And let me say this. There's a guy who's supposed to be speaking at Tuesday City Council. His name is Cooper Huff. He worked for that waste management place. He is the one where another place where all those racist comments were made and that started the petition. And I can tell you this, out of all of those people that were on his page, guys, I hope the people that's listening to your podcast will encourage everybody, their mama, their daddy, their uncle, their brother, their baby daddy, to be at Tuesday City Council meetings, because that's what they are doing. Even the ones that do not live in the city of Meridian. He is asking for people to come there that do not live, not just in the county. He's talking about people who visit here. So, like Lolo said, they the ones coming in, trying to take control of a situation where they don't have to come if they don't want to. But we talking about our babies, our elders, laying their head at night. How many of our children been shot? Not one of theirs. How many of our elders' home been shot in? Not one of theirs.
That's right.
No, we must support our council people's decision. And we must understand that this is politics we are speaking of. You have to, we got a seat at the table now. Now we must help those that sitting at the table make the best interest of us. And Jimmy Smith, we don't have to guess, we don't have to wonder. Throughout his entire campaign, all he said was we can do better in the city with dirty. Well, we knew that. But he didn't say anything because he didn't want us to know exactly what he was going to do. So now we don't have to guess. We see what he is doing, and we against him too. And you know, Mr. O, I told you, we need to protest. We are tired of them giving us unqualified, uneducated. Jimmy, you know, I'm not going to talk against him not having an education, but he don't have degrees. So maybe that's why he's not big on education. Maybe that's why he gave us Chris Reed. Maybe that's why he's trying to give us uneducated people. But all 5 of our council people got degrees. All 5 of them. And we can support him in every way. We need to show up and show these people that this city is the majority ours. And if you don't live here, if you don't vote here, if you don't pay taxes here, then you have no say-so. And as far as Miss Walker, I heard you say, didn't I, that you heard that she caught a hard time with her church members after her vote. We
Yes,
have to
I heard
understand that also. They supported Jimmy. Freedom Rock supported Jimmy, and not only that, when Percy was the mayor, remember, he
Right.
gave Freedom Rock Church, the only church, he gave $27,000 to. So maybe it's Freedom Rock feel like they can get another 27. But, you know, I love the Lord, I love my people, and I respect all men of God. But politics you can't make political decisions based on somebody at the church making you feel bad. I'm not saying she did that, but if she did, she wrong. She wrong.
Well, I like to say this,
stand up.
and I agree with you, but the name of that church is Freedom Rock.
I
Freedom.
just said Freedom Rock.
No, freedom. We don't have
said
that
freedom.
yet. No, you understand my point.
Oh,
Freedom.
okay.
We don't have that yet. We need freedom. If you guys not going to give us freedom and give us fairness, then we don't want any opinion from you. And that's not right when you have a church that's supposed to be doing God's word and doing what's right for the community, but everything they do and say is self-serving and for self-promotion or promoting the wrong thing. We're talking about what's right. It's not right to promote an uneducated
No.
white person over a qualified, educated any person.
And I'm going to say this. We must understand this. We must understand this. Chris Reed was pimping our people through scripture. You got a whole lot of our community don't know the crime that this man was doing, don't know the low-down things. They must be told that this man is a wolf in sheep clothing, and there's a whole lot of information out here to support it. But I know for a fact, on the city's page, it's not his page, it's the city's page that his picture come up on, and that is wrong, because he is not the mayor and never have been. And Posey never had a degree that had anything to do with Parks and Rec. All people can say is he a nice guy. I'm a nice person too, but I'm not qualified to run Parks and Rec.
That's right. And he wasn't angry about it. And white folks, won't y'all just go and sit down somewhere and get up out of our cities?
He was.
I was looking at his face, how he smiled when they voted him down.
Yeah. You know how you smile to keep from crying.
Yeah. Thank you, Marie.
But like he said, Chris Reed said he had options, didn't he?
Well, I need for him to exercise. Seemed like he don't.
He boasted 3 times that he had options. Well, let me tell you, Chris Reed, and whoever listening on his behalf, he needs to take up any, many, mighty more and get the devil on, because we know what you've been doing in this city. We know how you've been trying to manipulate our people. No more. It's time for us to take charge of our own community, clean up our own city, make our own city safe.
That's right. Thank you, Marie.
We can do it.
Thank you, Marie. And another thing we do got to do, Richard, too. And Richard, you got anything that you want to say?
When are you going to become like wise people and change the way you think and act? You got to stop letting other people train you and educate you for the wrong reason. You need to retrain yourself for the right reason.
That's right. And we have to send a message. And you will send a message by standing up, and you will have police officers quitting the force if Chris Reed is not there, because Chris Reed protects them and allow for them to do illegal things. And so they are going to quit and they're going to resign, and that's what we need. And our children are watching us in all this. We got to stop being hypocritical. And they're showing us how to do things. That's what makes me so astute, is that I watch people that seem to have done something that I haven't done, and I learn from them, and I adapt and modify my behavior. We cannot continue to do the same thing, because if we continue to do things the same way, then the attrition of this city will continue to go down and decline, get worse. Dice.
Okay. Dennis Allen says, most Chris Reed supporters don't live in city limits. This is a chocolate city.
Thank you, Dennis.
Loretta Bennett says, no one need to reconsider any appointments because it will have the whole city council board looking incompetent, and that's not fair to the strong, thick-skinned council.
And here's what I want to say about that, Lo, is that we got to stop saying that. Because if they go and reconsider do anything, they're doing something that's illegal according to the law. So, yeah, they cannot. They're not allowed under Rogers' Rules and Order to go back and redo a vote that already been voted down. They cannot do that. He's already been not confirmed. They cannot file a motion for reconsideration or ask them, or I made the wrong thing. There was no discussion. I have evidence of that, and if necessary, I'll give it to the FBI, Richard. Hey, look here. I got to say this. This thing here is not worth it. Chris Reed and Trent Posey, these two white guys that don't give a damn about any council member, including George Thomas, is them getting a job worth any of you going to jail or perhaps being removed from your council position for dereliction or due to doing something else illegal. You know, once you get charged with a crime, your seat is automatically vacated. Dice.
Okay. Let's see here. LaDonna Coon says, did I hear Dustin is possibly taking the brown bag to turn your charges over to the grand jury, not to offend any of his supporters?
Well, I got to say this to you. You just offended me, because I just don't believe that he'll do that. And so I'm just not, I was told that not him, but they wanted to keep Chris Reed so that me and Lolo could be bound over. But there's no way that Dustin Markham or any of the Markham family would take any type of bribe. I stand by that before anybody and say the same thing. So no, you didn't hear that. You didn't hear that from me. You didn't hear that from anybody in their staff or anybody that ever been on this podcast.
Okay. Davis Douglas says, Quitman, Mississippi. Yeah, so that's Davis Douglas is who was talking about the podcast earlier. I met him. Real good guy from down in Quitman. I enjoyed hearing him speak. Shout out to you, Mr. Douglas.
Well, anytime you need us to speak, we'll be glad to speak. Thank you. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Loretta Bennett says, put Rita Jack's resume next to Chris Reed, or put Chris Scott's resume next to Chris Reed.
And I got to say this, you guys ain't doing no vetting job. When you know that somebody's not qualified, they're not qualified. If you're going to vet the job, then put the thing up there, like you did initially when Rita Jack was selected to be chief of police. But they don't want that. Person just don't want to go to jail. I had to go to jail before. They trying to send me now on trumped up charges and things like that, but I'm still giving you right information. If it's wrong, I'll do a correction here, and I can give my opinions. No, this stuff is not right, what's going on in this city. And yes, we're falling deeper into the rabbit hole. And the looking glass is creating an illusion for some of you out there. Dice?
Okay, Jim Myrick says, I believe my previous summation of Jimmy Smith was correct. We got a persecutor's second verse, same as the first.
Yeah. And you know, I took issue with him when he said something before. He was offensive, but hell, he's showing it to us. Yeah. He's showing us. And that's arrogancy. When you don't care about people and you don't have to say it, Jimmy, you showing it.
Okay. And last but not least, Loretta Bennett says Jay Arrington still on the MPD roster.
And getting paid. And so, and I want to talk about just a couple of things. You have Kristen Means, who was sexually harassed by Brunel, and Brunel is being investigated by Internal Affairs, folks, and he's still there. Brunel has dirt on Percy. They have to continue to pay these people. What's going on with Jimmy Smith? Why is it that this is the way the people such as the Alexanders, the Delaney's, the Barrys, is this how they are paying Percy Bland, is by compelling Jimmy Smith to keep these corrupt peoples on, in other words, paying them to stay silent? I promise you, once one person go to jail, Darrell Thompson, I promise you, he's going to tell. Because there ain't nowhere in hell that he's going to go to jail by himself and all the things that he knows that's going on in this city. Anything you want to say, Richard, before we close out?
A lot of time, because there's a lot of money out there and involved in what's going on, the people feel like as long as you can keep those people in power and position, nothing will ever be done. And they have shown the power that they use this all the time.
Yeah. And Dice, anything you want to say? Well, man, I know you. Yeah, folks, I want to thank you all for listening, and we'll see you guys next Thursday. I want to tell you to tell somebody. Please be at that city council meeting Tuesday. Dice, are you able to go?
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
But I know. What about you,
Date,
Richard?
what date?
It's Tuesday.
What time?
5 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking that I could probably pick you up early and we could probably go by there and then come here.
I'll let you know.
All right. Folks, I want to thank you for watching, Reaching Out with Eddie, and y'all be safe out there. See you next Thursday. And see most of you that's going to be there Tuesday, tell somebody, be at that city council meeting, and let's show it forth. Show them that we're not afraid and that we stand by our council, folks. Council people, I want to reiterate, you guys did a stellar job. Continue to stand together as one. Remember, consolidation is power. When you divide, there's nothing but weakness in the end. Again, our children that suffer. Y'all have a good evening. Dice, take us home. Play that song, Dice.